We have Stacey Jarvis, the search lead for consumer and online at Microsoft Canada.
Hi.
Hi, Stacey. Tell me about Bing and the launch of Bing. What is Bing?
Bing is the sound of found, to put it very easily. So think about, making a decision in your life or coming up with an idea and, Bing, you've got it. There's a number of things, that's a fun way to describe Bing, but there's a number of things around Bing that is great. So it's our new search experience that we launched on June the 3rd. And really one of the things that we found about consumers that they're making decisions using search engines more and more often. So we've launched Bing as the new decision engine. So it's taking the typical search experience and evolving that into a decision engine where people can go and find the information that they're looking for to make those decisions in their life, whether they're local related or health related or product related, online, a lot easier and faster.
And where would you see Bing fitting into the competitive search engine wars when it compares to the other players?
I think Bing is new to the market, so when we think about consumers and the way that they typically search, consumers are using more than one search engine now to find the information that they need, and Bing is going to be that new, fresh alternative for them, to integrate into their daily search routines, whether they're looking for, very niche information, whether they're doing research or whatever it is they're doing online. We've introduced a lot of new tools to Bing to make that search experience a lot richer and a lot easier for people to find things. So if you're looking for, information on a particular city because you're going to be traveling, and you want to go, you're going to Acapulco or Bora Bora, you can type that information in and quickly find that the answers that you're looking for. So whether you're looking for maps and photos and reviews and TripAdvisors and things like that, we've integrated that into a new experience on the left-hand side by incorporating what we're calling quick tabs so that you can filter through that information quite quickly. If your searches are very somewhat basic or you're looking for information on Tide, we're now bubbling up based on user intent what that Tide website, the most authoritative source on the web, and then finding what those links are within that website based on the user behavior, based on session behavior that take you directly into pieces of the site so that you don't have to go about navigating that on your own. So again, when we look at user sessions out there, we know that about 42% of all queries require refinement. So we've built Bing to help solve that pain point and organize the experience and provide them tools to help them get to that information faster. So I think as consumers continue to try Bing and get used to the new search experience, it will become part of their daily routine and will become a source that they go to for a certain subset of their queries.
And Bing looks very, very similar in its user interface or its user setup to Google. And we know often Microsoft is creating its own designs and doing things its own way. Why suddenly such a resemblance to Google?
I think when you look at the core search results and you look at the core, blue links and web results that you get out there, there are the similarities between the three major search players because that again is what search that consumers are look for. It's something that they're familiar with. So we keep that consistency there because there definitely is something to be said about simplicity and not changing an experience altogether because people aren't necessarily going to trust that right off the bat. So we've incorporated those traditional elements of search and then layered on those additional features that I was talking about with quick tabs and best match, and then even taking our homepage a step further, which is deviating from the typical standard of that portal as your search destination, or even as the blank page with the search bar. We've incorporated the rich image that you'll now see on the Bing.ca page that will change on a daily basis. We're going to evolve that image to include more things as well, so it's more of an experiential play when you go to our homepage. There'll be little hover previews in there that take you into search experiences. A lot of feedback has come back in the last week on that rich image that we've launched in Canada. People are asking us on a daily basis, oh, where's that from? So we're going to start to include little snippets of content for those particular images and send them into the experience so that they can not only see the great new additions that we have from a visual perspective, but then also from a functional level. So though some of that, like I said, some of that core features and some of the core web results are there, we've got the new interface that kind of freshens the look of search and organizes that content in a better way for consumers.
And from Microsoft's perspective, you mentioned a lot of features and a lot of great things that Bing can do. What ultimately do you think will make consumers use Bing and switch over? Because we know there's no more market share to capture; it's only stealing market share.
Yeah.
What's that thing that will bring them over? Do you think?
I think the way that we've organized, and I talk a lot about organization, is because it's one of those pain points with consumers. With only 1 out of 4 queries being satisfied right out of the gate, there needs to be innovation, and that experience needs to be evolved. So there's not just one thing that's going to satisfy a consumer and one thing that each consumer is going to love. That's why we've integrated multiple things. We talked a little bit about the hover preview, where you're hovering over what those results are. Again, that's to solve the pain point of people automatically clicking back. These are different features that are out there. Even instant answers, where people are just looking for the quick answer to a quick question. You know, if you're looking for the 2009 Oscar winners, you type that in, rather than sifting through all that information, having to go to the Oscar site to find it. We've built in instant answers so that quickly comes up. Or even when you're looking for a flight online, you type in the flight number. I travel to Seattle a lot, so AC 540 is the flight number. I type that in, it automatically pulls up with the flight information, if it's been delayed, if it's in the air, what time it's landed, or it's expected to land, so that I know what time my flight is going to go out. So there's a lot of different elements that we've included in there to help consumers and users navigate through search a lot more easily. And same thing with the quick tabs. Again, when they get into the experience, they see the richness of it, and you think about the way that a user is used to searching or are used to navigating through content on a website. They typically have that navigation bar on the left, and we've deviated from that with search. So we're now reintegrating those things that consumers are more used to having as part of their daily routines, so that they can find and refine to get to their decision on a lot easier way.
And just on the piece with search being potentially broken, and a lot of talk about that, I think there's a lot of great features of what you're mentioning and things that you've addressed based on research. But if we're sitting here 2 years from now and we're looking back to today and saying, what did we fix, or where has it come to? Where do you see that future being? I
actually think that there's still a lot of work that we're going to be doing to evolve search over time, because the pain points that we've talked about in terms of being able to refine or anticipate search is one thing, but consumer needs are going to continue to evolve, and they're evolving quicker than they ever were in the last 10 years. So what we see search today is probably going to be a completely different experience in a year, and a completely different experience across all 3 players in the next 2 years. What that experience is going to be is kind of foreign to me at this point, but there's a lot of talk and some visionaries out there that have some great ideas where it's going to go. So
great. Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you.